All right, all right. Welcome to the room. Yeah. welcome to the room. I'm just going to get into what's missing in goal setting because the replays are on. And guess what? You will be able to get access to it. So let's just jump right in. So if you don't know already, I am in Clubhouse, and this is for also the podcast that it will be on, right? And so I want to talk about the what's missing in goal setting. I'm going to talk about what's missing in goal setting, and I find it interesting. I find it interesting. So I'm going to just talk about what this looks like, right? So we have goal setting and focus. I like to say it's a focus point. It is a focus point. Why do I like to say that? Because you guys know me, the Webster's 1828 dictionary. Yes, I love to look at that. So let's take a look at that. So goal, it means the point set to bound a race and to which they run, the mark. It's a starting point. It's the end or final purpose, the end to which a design tends, right? It aims to reach the accomplishment. Now, while I like that, at the same time, when I look at focus, the focus point, right? There is more of an intention to it. It is a central point, a point of concentration. And what I tend to see is that when we don't distinguish the difference, we can actually veer off. And so the goal, to say that it is a goal, means that we are focused so much on accomplishing an end result as opposed to focus on the process, right? So when we're focused on the end, we actually are not focused on the process. And the process is one of the most beautiful parts. It is one of the most beautiful parts. And so that is why I like to say, instead of goal setting, I like to say focus points. What are your focus points? We understand that we have goals, right? The long term, the end result of something, but then we like to bring it into a focus point. So let's break down that, a little bit further. And so here are some things I am listing for, but I know that I've seen more, but for the sake of just letting you focus on a particular area, what I've realized is when we do this focus setting is that when we do the goal setting as opposed to a focus setting, what ends up happening is we don't do a lot of reflection. We are so focused on, or our intention becomes, I'm going to do A, B, and C, as opposed to reflect and say, this is what I've done, right? And is it working for me? So we come in with this mind, I'm going to set this new intention. Well, most of the time, actually, if I correct that, most of the time when we're setting a goal, we really don't set it with an intention. It's just like this thing that we do. So no reflection. What actually worked? What didn't work? What did you do this last year, this last month, this last quarter? What is measurable? That is my second point. What is measurable? I also find that many don't take a look at what is measurable. What increased their profits? What didn't increase their profits? What brought them more collaborations? What didn't bring them more collaborations? Right? This is a part of tweaking the systems and the processes. But what people do, what I've seen done, is that it's like, oh, this didn't work, that didn't work. So guess what? I'm just going to create a new system, or I'm going to create a new thing. And they lose out because it would have worked if they would have literally seen, reflected, number one, and then found out the measure in it. Right? The other thing I find is that that is not looked at is I see that things are done and focus or even goal or whatever is set, but it's not set to scale things. So everybody says, okay, you know what? I have just finished this new goal, this new focus point for those that are my students in the School of Activation. And I say, they're like, okay, I got this, but now what's next? Well, you need to look at, right, the stages of, I call it transition, right? What are those stages? So are you going, or the stages of even clarity that I talk about in the School of Activation? Are you going to master it? Does it need to be mastered? Are you going to delegate it? What does this look like? Are you going to scale it? Right? Example, I just did a book. Well, myself, and I'm just saying in general, you just did a book, whatever that looks like. And now it's like, okay, well, what do I do? Do I make a shirt with it, a coffee mug? Do I do accessories and apparel and all that? Okay. Do I do a course? Do I do a class? Do I do a challenge and maybe do some video tutorials with it? Do I do a workbook and it's a companion? See, we don't look at that, right? We automatically say, let's go on to the newest, biggest, best thing, right? But it's not always the case. So that's why I always say it needs to be a reflection. There needs to be a measure of something, and there needs to look at whether are you going to scale or not. Where are you in this stage of transition and this stage of clarity? Again, I teach that in the School of Activation. You can go to schoolofactivation.com to join. I would love to have you. I go deeper there. Now, let's talk about the last one. This right here. The bleeding places. Guys, there are things that you're a part of, groups that you're a part of that you've outgrown. There are so many areas. I actually am launching the Activator app. It's coming out soon. I've been steadily recording the fasting for entrepreneurs that you're going to be able to go through, and you're going to have the accountability right at your fingertips. And I talk about as that 21-day fasting to be able to truly purge out things that don't serve you in this time. Even down to maybe books or other things that have been purchased or whatever that looks like. You might even need to see if you just got off track and it is serving you, but you decided, oh, I'm going to go here and here and here and here and here. And guess what? Boom. You left the very thing that was serving you, right? You left the very thing that was serving you. So again, we've talked about a few things. We've talked about the fact that the difference between a goal, the difference between a focus, so a focus setting and a goal setting. We also took a look at some of the things that can hinder us, right? We don't reflect, we don't measure, we don't consider scaling. We always try to get something brand new, right? And that also, scaling also takes a look at our systems. Are we able to scale? Is it scalable? Are we going to automate that thing? What happens? Or do we just do it and then we just let it be? It sits on the shelf because, we did it and it looks great. But what does that mean? And then we took a look at the bleeding places. The bleeding places. And so with those being said, with that being said, I hope this gives you a different perspective coming in to this new year, right? When I'm teaching this right now, recording this. This is 11/17/2021. Yay! We're in this new physical year, right? Not the Hebraic calendar, but we're looking at, the world that we operate in right now, the system and the calendar that we operate. And so, when we're looking at this is the time that I like to bring other things in that I've already done in the past year. I take a look at repurposing content and that type of thing in order for me to really have this focus point this focus setting to where I really take a look, especially in the month of December, because I don't want to have the same year that I had the year before. I want to be able to build and see fruit from it. I want to really see what works because I don't want to continue doing something that doesn't work. And really also be able to get before God and say, okay, has the time run out here? Should I be doing this here? Should I not do this here? So again, I hope that this has blessed you. I will continue to do these recordings as I feel led, and you guys will continue to see this, these different points come out. And I'm believing that this year is going to be very different for many if you set the intention to do so. We get prophetic words, we get promises, there's a lot of things, right? And then we don't know how to carry it out. We believe that it's just like this hocus pocus kind of thing, and it just happens, boop, like it's like right there. Yes. But I believe that a lot of that happens through the pursuit, right? So if we're like, oh, this is what God promised, as we're walking it out, those provisions and those things and those connections and that favor are actually come into agreement with us. The supply comes. Like heaven is standing up cheering and saying, oh, they're doing it. They're walking it. Oh, they're past step 1. Go ahead and drop this on them. Oh, they're past step 16. I didn't know if that, you know what I'm saying? Didn't know how long that was going to take, but they did it, right? So let's go. Now this provision, I want you to put this in their path because they reached, step 16, right? I need you to, this is going to be accelerated. They're forcing my hand to accelerate these things because you know what? They were on their face a whole lot more. They came to me, right? And so I really do believe that if you set this intention and you do the work, not just the mindset work, but the physical work as well, to take a look at what you're doing, what you're setting your hands to, what works, and take inventory, things are going to look really different for you. Things are going to look very, very different for you because I will tell you, I've had a lot of opportunities that might have looked like God. When the floodgates opened, it happened. And while they were opportunities, they weren't best for me, whether not at all or the timing of it was off. Right? And so I had to be willing to let it go and then take notes and do whatever. And then say, hey, you know what? I wanted to reach out to you. And actually it worked out even better than if I would have forced something. See, a lot of times we feel like we're going to lose. So we get so busy. We take multiple jobs, multiple projects, launch multiple products all at the same time. And we are literally burning out, have no time for our family because we're thinking that we're going to miss something. But if we had our focus point, our focus setting in order, and it wasn't just this goal setting that was this extended reverse engineering of, oh, this is at the end result, we would see that there were little things and little areas and steps, and that goal could actually take a couple years to accomplish, or months, or week, or whatever, and then we get burnt out and worn out because we didn't break that goal into functional, actual focus steps, mini incremental things that allow us to not grow weary and tired of well-doing while we are going to the end, right? I know we want to consider all these things done, but there is this way that we can get our mindset and our body to line up that the work is done, but yet recognize the very thing that there is a process as well. Sometimes we get so focused on the thing already being done and quoting scripture and imagining and using visions and all that stuff that we forget the very process. And that in order for us to be in this already done place, there is a new person that needs to flourish and come out in this place. And so we never really become the person. And then we get discouraged because that goal never really manifests, or it seems so far off, right? Because we got this jaded view. Put everything in its place. Everything is wonderful. Goal setting and teaching and all that, all those things are wonderful. But let's put it in place and put it in order in a way that will serve us in operating in our marketplace mandate, right? So, okay, guys, until next time, I just wanted to be able to bring this to you, and you guys have fun with the replay, and I will leave it up here for you.